Thanks for sticking with it this long. We covered rest and recovery from tips 6 to 10, and then I'm going to change it again. So the next 5 tips are all going to be about learning and memory. It's something that I've dabbled in for years, always trying to improve my memory and fighting against the times when you say, I just can't seem to remember his name, or I'm rubbish at remembering things, or I can't remember where I put my keys. Tip number 11 is about memory retention and developing a system to help you with your memory. Systems for remembering things date back thousands of years, and a quick Google search, or you can look into trying to remembering things, and there's probably 1,000 books about it. What I'm going to pick out for you is some things that have worked for me and have been quite fun. This was sort of brought about when I read Derren Brown's book, and I was fascinated by his magic, and I remembered things, and I wanted a system to be able to remember numbers. Now, numbers are difficult to remember because they're not tangible. It led me down the path to read a book called How to Develop a Superpower Memory by Harry Lorraine, who's a memory expert. Once you read this book, it helps you remember how to remember lists of items when you don't have to write them down. Now, the way to do this is all visual. You may remember things, as I did in the past, by doing it by rote, which is what you did at school, which is remembering all the way, and you remember 6 things, and you'll go, I don't know, like umbrella, TV, fish, chair, and then you would repeat that: umbrella, TV, fish, chair, umbrella, TV, fish, chair, and you just keep remembering it and remembering it and remembering it and going over in your head until it's stuck. Now, this is good until you get to, I think it's 7 plus or minus 2, which is normally what you can remember, which is handy because these are normally the digital phone numbers and all the rest of it. But once you start remembering 20 things, it's amazing how much that falls off, and your retention done on rote will only last so long. He developed a system, or he published a system really, which has been about for years, which is a visual memory linking system. So you would memorize and visualize things like TV to fish, fish to chair, chair to umbrella, so you'd be able to connect these in your head. Now, these had to be quite unusual images, because if you think about it logically, it wouldn't work. So a TV and a fish, for example, would be a fish jumping out your TV, or a fish carrying a TV, or you sat as a fish with a TV. Now, this is limitless from what you can expand on these ideas, but it does help you. So if I can point you to the direction of, I think it's a free download, and I'll try and get you a link for it, for Harry Lorraine's book. If not, then contact me, send me a link, and I've got it on a PDF somewhere so I can send it to you. And the system's in there for absolutely everything, and it starts with reading simple systems like remembering lists, but you can then go forward and remember what's known as a PEG system of memories for things like numbers, which it gives you all the way from 0 to 100. You remember things rather than numbers, which cement them into your memory on the same kind of system, and it leads you all the way up to which I tried to do while I was away recently, which is remembering a shuffled deck of cards. And there is a system for that as well, and if you're interested, I'll leave that, certainly the YouTube videos that I watch for remembering a shuffled deck of cards down below. But it's important, as well as looking at health, fitness and sleep and recovery and some other things we're going to get to later in the tips, and it's important that you keep exercising your mind as you get older, because one of the things that worry me is getting to be that old, sort of, you know, befuddled 70-year-old that can't remember why he came downstairs, and I think I'm already there now at 42. But I know it's a muscle. I know you've got to keep improving it, and you've got to keep working it. If these memory systems work for you as well as they've done for me, then that's good. Try and keep using them. Consider your brain as a muscle that you've got to exercise every day, because these next 5 points, including this one today, is all about exercising that grey matter upstairs, and getting it into gear and getting the best you can out of what you've got. So stick with it on these next 5 tips about memory and learning, and I'll try and give you everything that I've learned in the last few years. I'll see you then.